Alrighty, a quick explanation of second reiteration using the townhouse scheme instead of the 24-unit apartment scheme for the Colonial project. So let's, in the previous townhouse sketch, we were trying to stay away from the 30-foot setback line generated by this property line. The 30-foot setback line is here, which means we had to cut it off here, or actually here. And to scoot this back here. So we only had 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we had this unit slammed into here. That's it. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 townhouse units. Now, creating a little space to get a stair in because we have severe topographical issues that have to be dealt with. The site slopes from 0 about entry, right about here at the entry, to 9 feet all the way in the back. So these will have to be stepped, which will create some interesting elevations. We're going to have to play with the topography here. This will be a gentle street. This will step up, up, up. This will be a retaining wall to get us to this level. So we have to step up to the front of the units. Parking, there's just enough. If we go to the unit plan on page 2, so let's go over to the layout. The unit plan on page 2 is here. What happens there? We have just enough room to park the required parking for a townhouse. We need 2 separate parking spaces, 2 units, 2 parking spaces per dwelling. So there we have our 4 parking spaces. They get partially tucked below the building, which is a 20-foot by 40-foot. Let's see what happened to our dimension here. There's our dimension. 20-foot by 40-foot unit up above. So below, parking, utility, stair to get up. We're going to have to play with the door, stair, something like this. This is conceptual. We will still be playing with this as we develop the unit floor plans. Depends on how they load. Depends on what the elevation is on the back side. So we'll determine the stair configuration of the footprint as we enter at a different elevation. So we have to play with that almost on every unit. So that'll be it'll create an interesting project. All right, let's go back. So now if we can ask for relief on the setbacks, as this is really the property line, this is really the setback line. If this is the 30-foot setback line is actually right here, is actually this line right here. If we were to say if we had continued this property line all the way across here. So really, by cutting in this cul-de-sac and creating a property line in it, really digs into the second lot and a little bit of this lot. And so I think that's what I would say is quote-unquote unfair. So we could ask some relief for this property line, and we could squeeze a few more units in. So instead of 14, we create a little space to create the stair to get us up to the units as the topography dictates. And this is going to require a little study. This is conceptual. And so that's the units. They're 20 foot wide, just enough to get a garage in order to, after you park, you can get in, or if you come visit, you park, visitor parking, and you come up to the stair and come up to the front door. Park, come up to the stair, come up to the front door. That's how you visit. So they're trying to maximize by putting the parking below the unit as much as possible. Keep the green space, keep a lot of green space available. that's the story.